Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we are honored by the presence of Reg, my man Reg.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for coming, bro. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
coming.
I appreciate it.
So I met Reg 3 weeks ago, right? 3, 4.
It was like a month ago, I
recently.
think. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I think it's been a month.
Well, yeah, probably around there. And we're at like a friend's birthday party, and we just hit it off. I remember the after party was
yeah.
crazy. that was fun. Yeah, and the reason why I have Reg on the podcast today is this man is talented in so many areas. First of all, he sings, he dances, he models, and he's into business. I'm missing one thing. I'm missing a ton of things. He scripts. He's a male model. He's got so many talents. So the reason why I have Reg on today is because I want to talk about utilizing your talents. Very often you hear people saying that you got to use the talents that you've been given, but I feel like not too many people really understand exactly what that means. So we're going to dive a little bit into that for this podcast. So Reg, thank you for coming, dude.
Thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it.
For sure.
Thank
So you were just telling me before we started recording that you started dancing at the age of 5.
5 or
right?
6, yeah, somewhere in there.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah, definitely.
It seems as if people who are really good at dancing have that backstory. Like, I've been doing it from such a young age. Mm-hmm. Do you think that was the key to you getting so good?
Man, probably.
Yeah.
Most likely. Like I said, my first dance move was the moonwalk.
Okay.
So I perfected that, and then I would like to show everybody.
Yeah.
My mom always told me, she was like, anytime your cousins would have their girlfriends over or anything, you come out, you get on the floor, start doing push-ups, you start dancing. So I realized really quickly that I wasn't really that embarrassed to perform or do anything like that.
Yeah.
That aspect for sure helped.
Okay.
And I think, learning and starting anything from a young age will help you improve because you only get better over time if you constantly do that thing.
Definitely. Consistency is key, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So that's amazing that you started from 5 because like me, I didn't really utilize my talents when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like that kid that did random stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
I was that kid too, so
painting on the walls and just making a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
But I feel like I got to understand who I was.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that sounds kind of deep for a kid.
No, I get it.
I was exploring and doing all of these different things.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like because I did that, I started to hone my talents later on in life because I've explored in so many things.
Right.
And it made me realize what I like and what I don't like.
Exactly, I get that.
So when you hear people say, I don't have any talents or skills, what is the first thing that pops up in your mind?
You just haven't found it yet.
Right?
That's literally what it is. A lot of times, I'm not saying this for everybody, but a lot of times people will look at other people and look at other people's talents and realize they can't do that talent and then think they don't have any of their own. Think they don't have any skills. What it is you just haven't found what you are good at. You just, like you said, you were the kid that did random things. I did that too, man. I just kept doing things until I found stuff that I was good at. And then the stuff I was good at, I was like, I'm going to keep doing it. Yeah. I used to draw. I was painted, all types of stuff. And it's just a matter of finding out what it is that is your talent or your skill.
Definitely. So to all the kids out there, you have a talent. You just haven't found it yet. For me, I think my talent is, I don't know, I just interact with people in a different way.
Yeah.
You know?
How so?
It's on a metaphysical kind of level. It's not just like basic small talk type of stuff. It's like we're talking about things now, but it's so deep, bro. And I don't know how to explain it, but I recently discovered this.
Okay.
That I love connecting with people and understanding like their story. Everyone has a story.
Yes,
right?
That is,
I love to find that out, especially people with depth.
Right.
You know, people who are like, I have a reason. This is my why. I wake up every morning for this. Those are my favorite sort of people because, like when I'm having a conversation with them, it's like I'm going back and forth in time. And I know this might sound a little crazy, but that's how deep I get into the conversation. And if I really vibe with someone, I'm gonna make a way to make sure that I add value to their lives.
Right.
Because I see where they're going, but I also want to add to where they're trying to go.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
You know how whatever you're doing in life, you got those people who are supporting you, your circle.
Right, for sure.
I like to call them my angels.
Nice.
You know, the quote by Chance the Rapper, I got angels all around me, they keep me surrounded.
Yeah.
That's my favorite one. And yeah, I feel like in life, with the people you really connect with, they are your angels. And I feel like my talent is helping to propel my angels.
I could actually see that.
Right?
Yeah, just having a conversation with you, I could definitely see that. You are the type of person to skip the what is it? Small talk?
Yeah.
You skip that really quickly. And I like small talk. I do. But it just depends on who I'm talking to. Some people I don't like to small talk to because they can't contribute anything, even in the beginning. That's kind of like a prerequisite is what small talk is. Into how deep of a conversation do I want to have with you.
Definitely.
My small talk lasts probably about 2.5, maybe 3 minutes, and then I'm jumping in. If I find you interesting, I'm going straight for it.
Bro, and for a long time, I used to think that was a downfall of mine because as a kid, I was like really shy and like so into myself. But when I connected with someone, I just go super deep with them. And for a long time, I thought I had some sort of problem with connecting with people, like not being able to have basic. I mean, I can have a basic conversation.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'd rather not.
Right.
I want to get to the real stuff.
I
you
get
know?
that.
And a battle for me is trying to balance it out because you do need the small talk.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's a good prerequisite. But at the same time, it's like I'm so annoyed by it, bro. I just want to get to know you and all that type of stuff. You know? So yeah, it just took me a while to find that talent. But it's amazing that you found yours at 5 years old. And once you realized that you could dance, how did that make you feel?
Oh, that boosted my confidence. Like I told you, I would just get in front of anybody and just start dancing. That led into like when I started acting. I used to do plays and theater and stuff like that. That helped me realize that I was really, really confident, even on stage. Even you and I had this conversation right before we started recording that before I found my talent and everything, I was like really insecure. I felt like an awkward kid, things like that. But once I started dancing, like I said, it opened doors for me to act. It opened doors for me to like do other types of performances. Even in dancing, I probably performed pretty much whatever you can think of as far as dance, from ballet to hip hop to dubstep performances. I've done all types of stuff. Ballroom. I used to teach ballroom. I used to teach Latin dances like salsa, bachata, merengue, all that. I've taken a few dance classes. I've performed with really big dance groups, things like that. Around the world, I have a couple different videos on YouTube where I've just set up at like downtown Mexico or in Spain or something like that, just started dancing. I've joined street performers in these countries, and just started dancing. So it boosted my confidence 1,002%.
Bro. And something that I also like that you do is there was this time when you're dancing with I think it was Amy or Diana, right? And then one of our friends, Bennett, who was there, he was like, bro, like, that's so sick. You
Really?
gotta teach me how to do that. And he was like, yeah, I can teach you, but if you pay me. And I was like, yes, that's what you gotta do.
Yeah, man.
Because that's like how you make money from the things that you're good at, So how did you get to that point where you're comfortable charging people for things that you're good at?
When I first started a dance club back in college in undergrad, I started a dance club, the first dance club at my university. And then people would just come, and then like consistently we had but classes like twice a week. And consistently, people would just show up, and they're like, still coming. And I'm teaching, and they're still coming. And I'm like,
it was free at that point, right?
It was free.
Okay.
And I'm like, I should really start charging for this. And then one point, I gave a dance class when I was in Mexico. Somehow, I got into like a dance studio, and then someone was like, yeah, you can teach classes here. So I got to do that. And then it's at that point where I started being recognized by other people for that talent specifically. Is like, oh man, their reactions. And I'm thinking about, the whole time, the Abraham Lincoln quote in the back of my head: whatever you do, be the best, but also don't do it for free.
I haven't heard that.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Because like honestly, a lot of people feel shame when they charge people for a certain thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, in the beginning, it's kind of awkward because you've never done it before.
For sure.
But it's also why, and I don't really have anything against people giving out like their talents or services for free.
Right.
But if you're constantly doing that, you're not really. It's not a win-win situation.
Exactly.
Because whatever I'm in, both people have to win.
Right.
It shouldn't be just one-sided.
I agree.
So, what are some things? Because you're really comfortable doing it. So what's advice you'd give someone who isn't as comfortable as you doing it?
Ooh, that is a really good question. Advice I'd give someone who's not comfortable. It's the same thing I tell people, like when I teach them to dance. A lot of people come in and they're like, oh, I cannot dance. I suck. And I hear this the most from white people. And they're like, oh, I'm white, man. I don't have any rhythm. I can't dance, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, look, number one, stop that.
Yep.
Number one, just get that out of your head.
Yep.
Dancing in particular is a human art.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody is different.
Yep.
For me, if you're enjoying it, that's really the point. Really is if you have fun, that is the point completely of dancing. But as far as being more confident and getting out there and everything, I would just say, just go do it.
Fuck yeah.
Honestly, you're gonna feel awkward.
Yeah.
You're gonna feel weird. Even I do a lot of times when we go out. Even when I met you that night, I kept telling people, they were like, RJ, do this, or Reg, do this. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do it. But, eventually I got out there and I'm like, all right, fine, I'll do it.
This homie did a backflip in the middle of a club. Yo, that is insane.
Yeah, it's not the first time.
Not the first time. Listen to this, man.
But yeah, so I just say, just get out there and just do it.
Yeah.
Honestly. And get past the feelings. Once you get past those awkward feelings, those embarrassing feelings, it may take a minute, but once you get past them, you're like, this is actually kind of fun.
Exactly. And it only feels weird because you're not used to it.
Exactly.
That's the only reason. Unless there's like some deeper things to it, like morality, or you just don't vibe with it. But in most cases, you're just not used to it.
True.
So, like, what advice would you have for people who are like in their box, their comfort zone?
The comfort zone?
Trying to get out.
Life was not made to be lived inside a box.
Oof.
Why would you just stay there?
I know, right?
There's so much more. There's a sun out here outside of the box. There's animals. There are opportunities.
There's 7 billion people in this world.
Exactly. And I guarantee, when people say you're one in a million, that basically means you're about one in about 200 million people. Yep. Really?
Yep.
And you can always find someone that will, number one, appreciate you and your talents, and then number two, who are just like you and feel the exact same way. The point of everything, of getting out of your box, is just to find those people. And once you find those people who feel as awkward as you guys can be awkward together. No, don't go back in the box. You can be awkward together, trying different things, and then once you do that, you'll end up being comfortable with each other.
Definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
It's crazy because I lived with Amy before she went back to Vietnam.
Okay, yeah.
And almost every day she'd be like, "Oh, I'm so weird." And she's like, "Yes, you are."
Yeah, exactly.
Embrace it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be your friend. Like, normal people suck, bro. I don't even know what
Boring.
a normal person is. Because we all have so many different experiences that
Yeah.
make us unique.
Yeah.
You know, how can you be a normal person?
Mm.
I'm gonna put my dad on blast for a little bit.
Oh, good.
But when I was a kid,
Mm.
I would get in trouble a lot, and I wouldn't get the best grades.
Mm.
And he would always ask me, "Is this normal?" And then I just sit there lying in bed thinking, "What is normal?" Like, all of my friends are pretty weird. They like weird music.
Mhm.
Like, I had no reference for what everyone is doing because
Mhm.
we all do similar things, but we
Mm.
don't all do the same thing.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
I mean,
exactly.
we all take a shower. Most of us take a shower.
Yeah, I hope so.
But-
I hope so.
But not everyone does. And it's just like certain things that make people unique. So
Mhm.
I don't understand what this normalcy is.
Yeah, it's just a construct of society to try to control people and try to make you feel awkward if you're not doing what they want you to do.
Huh. Interesting. I never
That's all.
thought about it that way.
Yeah, that's all it is, man. And once you realize that, and then you'll want to not be a part of that.
Yeah.
The so-called norm.
Yeah.
You're not gonna want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
And then once you figure out there's other stuff outside of the norm, then you're like, oh, I didn't realize this was here.
Yep.
I didn't realize this is what people did. I
Yep.
didn't realize people thought this way.
Mhm.
And then you just kind of find yourself.
Exactly. Okay.
Mhm.
Going back to the art and expression, right? There's so many different ways us as humans can express ourselves
Mhm.
through music,
Yes.
through dance,
Mhm.
through. I mean, like, those are the only two, but those are the main things that are popping up in my mind right now.
Mm.
And my main way of expression is rap, because I
Uh-huh.
listen to a lot of rap,
Right?
and playing the drums.
Okay.
So I picked that up in January.
Wow.
Well, like, I started taking it more seriously in January,
Okay.
but it's something that's been on and off. But the way it started, like, as a kid, my instrument was the drums,
Mhm.
right?
Same.
But my parents couldn't afford that,
Mhm.
so I'd always look on TV and be like,
Yeah.
One of my favorite movies is Whiplash.
Whiplash. I've never seen it.
It is, you know, Miles Teller.
Probably if I saw him.
You probably know him, but the movie just goes into detail about how this kid wants to be a professional drummer,
Mm.
and he's got this idol, right? So he wants to be like world famous,
Right.
and on his quest he finds a mentor who teaches at a school, and this dude is like really, really hard. He's like one of those like, you know, those teachers who are like, there's some teachers that use punishments, some use rewards.
Yeah.
He was hell on the punishment
Yeah,
side,
real
like,
strict.
breaking stuff, and just like really loud,
Mhm.
and he would like really go in on him when he wasn't doing the right thing.
Wow, yeah.
But it's crazy to see how his journey,
Mhm.
like, it's so amazing because
Nice.
he just wants to get better and better and better. I
Right.
mean, I don't think he had the best teacher, but like that situation helped him grow and become a better drummer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
That
just go-
pressure and everything.
Exactly.
It's like finding a diamond, man.
Yeah.
It's not a diamond until you put pressure on it.
Exactly. So, yeah, I've just always had this fascination with drums. I
Mhm.
think it's just like the beat of it, or just
Mhm.
it looks so cool. And when I got behind my first set of drums, well, I didn't own it, but when I got behind a set of drums,
Right.
it felt like I belonged there. You
Mhm.
know, like,
Mhm.
you know how when the first time you drive and you get into the driver's seat.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I felt. And I had a teacher. Her name is Ayana, a really good friend of mine.
Okay.
And she's a music major, so she's like, drums is her thing.
Okay.
And I was like,
Nice.
yo, Ayana, I want to do drum lessons.
Gotta
with you.
learn.
I gotta learn. And we did lessons once a week,
Mhm.
and then it developed to twice a week. And just I kept up that consistency because it's something that I really wanted.
Yeah.
And I really got to express myself in a way I've never have before.
Hmm.
and I felt so like it's so raw and authentic. I
Yeah.
felt like me.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
You just wanted to live in it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
And it felt so amazing, and like a lot of people, especially people that go camping and all of that type of stuff, say, "I wish every person in the world played an instrument."
Yeah.
Like, how important do you think it is for us as humans to express ourselves in the form of art?
In the form of art, it's a human necessity, in my opinion. Because if you're not, like you said, just dancing and singing aren't the only two forms of art. And not even just like drawing and painting and things like that. There are different types of art, like you said. So I think it's super important for just us as human beings to just find a way to express ourselves, because once you hold something in, it's going to eat away at you. It's not just going to, you're not just going to think about it for 5, 20, 30 minutes. It's going to be in the back of your mind. It's going to continue to weigh on you. And then once it does that for a certain amount of time, eventually you're going to believe it. Like a lot of people who say, going back to the example of, I can't dance, they're going to believe it. And then whatever you believe basically becomes true.
Definitely.
So that's why I tell people, firstly, just get that out of your mind. Just stop that. You're going to stop putting yourself down. You're not going to think that way anymore. And I'm going to teach you. And I like to say, there's not been anybody that I cannot teach yet.
Bro, so I took, I was in a dance club for like 2 weeks.
Okay.
Right? But when, in the beginning, I had the same thought, like, I'm not good at dancing. I don't know how to do this. But I wanted to do it because I wanted to learn how to dance hip-hop.
Right.
And I started learning how to dance. The routine, the choreographers were like super helpful. And I think just being in the environment of it all and being around people who are going towards the same thing, that like really motivated me.
Right.
But it also had like this internal effect of, you can actually do this. Like at some point, like through repetition, you start to get it.
Yeah.
And at some point, it just felt so automatic. I was like, what? I'm dancing. I was like, what? It was so weird. So,
and it actually gets you comfortable, going, like you said, being around so many people with the same goal.
Yeah.
But those people also understand where you're coming from. They were there at one point in life, and I felt that way when I did ballet for the first time. I was like, yeah, this is not going to happen. And by the way, side note, ballet is the hardest dance I've ever done.
That's what I've heard.
It's the hardest thing I've ever done, as far as dance. But, so once you just get rid of that mentality, like I've been saying, man, just understand we're here to do something, and everybody has been here before. Everybody who's already good at this particular one thing has already been here before.
Ooh.
And this is just my starting line.
Bro, yeah, that's a topic I want to explore, but that's for a different time.
Different episode.
Time.
There are so many different forms of talent also. There's this book that I've been meaning to read, but I haven't read it yet. I think it's called like The 9 Intelligences.
Okay.
And you know how traditionally intelligence, the IQ test, is based off of a lot of times math, analogies, and then language.
I hate math, by the way.
I hate math too. That's why I got 2 degrees in languages. But so it basically explains that there are basically 9 different types of intelligences. I'd like to replace the word talent for intelligence.